Hi, I'm Pattu from freefincal. Today let's talk about PPF interest rates, how it's set, and if you're worried about it being already low, then why it could drop even further below that. Before we begin, I just want to point out that my new book for kids, Chinchu Gets a Superpower, is now available. I will leave the links to buy the book in the video description and also in the first comment. Do get it for your little one. So the current PPF rate is 7.1% for the current quarter up to March 2020, and it's already about almost about 1% higher than what it should be, as we shall see below. Many people complain about the government, but it's not the government who decides these. Who makes policy decisions on how rates are set and so on. In fact, there is an expert committee constituted, and the recommendations of the expert committee are only implemented by the government from time to time. The most dramatic change is the abolition of the government provident fund (GPF) and the introduction of the national pension scheme. I talked about how the compounding debt for the government was so scary that it decided to introduce the new pension scheme. Many central government employees even today complain about the NPS and want it removed, but that's never going to happen. So they had these committees had been recommending to the government that the rates cannot be arbitrarily set, and they have to be market linked for government borrowing to reduce and the physical deficit to the burden of on the government to reduce the physical deficit, to reduce one component of the physical deficit to reduce, and so on. And therefore they decided the market rates would be set every quarter according to the benchmark rates from February 16th 2016, and the 10-year government bond is usually used as the benchmark for the PPF and the SSY, the Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana. The SSY enjoys a 0.75% higher return than the last 3 quarters 10-year returns, and the PPF enjoys 0.25% more. So it uses the rates recommended by an agency called the Fixed Income Money Market and Derivatives Association, the FIMMDA, Fixed Income Money Market and Derivatives Association. So for example, to fix the rate for the current quarter between January to March, they would have looked at the 10-year GSEC yields between September to November 2020. So if you look at that, September 6.015, October 5.881, November 5.911%, all of them percentages of the 10-year GSEC yields. The average is 5.93. So if you apply the formula, the PPF rate should be 5.93% plus 0.25% the excess, the premium that the government will pay, and it's 6.22%. The actual rate is 7.1%, which is 0.9% above that. So if you look at this gap in March 2020, just before the lockdown was, that is the rate in the first quarter of March 2020, before the lockdown came into force, the gap was only 0.35%. Because of the pandemic, the gap has increased by almost 3 times. So it's only a matter of time before the gap decreases further, and the rates will fall further down. And therefore, there's no point complaining about the government and all that. We have to stop depending on these fixed income schemes. We have to plan our own portfolios, plan our own investment, take on some kind of market risk, at least in the bond market, if not in the stock market, depending on your age and risk profile, etc. And try to get slightly better returns than PPF, because inflation will keep going down over time, government borrowing will keep going down over time. So the government will only keep reducing the interest rate over time, over a long time. In the short term, there will be fluctuations up and down, but over the long time, it will keep going down, and there is no escape from that. So it's better to expect the PPF rate to fall below 7% very soon. Bye bye.